Alright fellas, clutch job on 2011 Ford Focus. Alright, start off taking the air box, battery, shit out, move your ECU over, hang it from the hood, keep it out of the way. You got your cables for your clutch lines, 2 of them, 2 sensors, 1 ground wire. You got your fluid line for your clutch. Get that all out of the way. Pull CV axles. Drop subframe. The subframe's easy. You just take off 1 screw and those 2 lines for the power steering pop out. Put them in bags, put zip ties around them to keep them from leaking. That was the initial fluid leakage. And that power steering fluid is dirty. And after you do all that, leave your wheel however it was, right? Lock it in place with the seat belt and push the seat back so it keeps it locked down. Take off 1 bolt to your steering linkage. Don't move anything, leave everything, don't move the wheel. That's a 10mm bolt, that's a Bullock type from the factory. 4 bolts. 4 bolts hold the subframe on. Alright, 2 on both sides. Have a breaker bar ready or a huge wrench. Take that down. You don't have to take this transmission mount off if you don't want to. But the transmission will not come out without dropping the subframe. You'll get it wiggled out and you'll realize you need 2 more inches of space, so you gotta drop subframe. Have 2 jacks and a transmission mount jack. Keep all your bolts organized. CV axle mount bolts, bell housing bolts, yada yada yada. Starter. Where are we at? Starter. Right there. Starter's kind of hard to access, not too bad. Here's all the tools we used. Have you a little impact Milwaukee or some air tools. 120 bucks on Northern Tool right now. Free shipping and with a discount. Have you a flex head, 3/8 inch ratchet. There's a Husky, it's a nice wrench. Have you some 1/2 inch. Have you some Allen bits to drain the transmission fluid, which drain the transmission fluid before you pull the CV axles. Have your hex key for getting out the ball joint bolt. You're going to need, for the ball joint bolt to hold it still, a T50. Harbor Freight. They've been sold out of these. I've had them for a while now, but these are really nice. Made in Taiwan, which a lot of the good tools now are made in Taiwan. And you're going to need a T8 for the transmission drain hole. And make sure it's seated whenever you know what I mean? It's a deep drain bolt, so I almost stripped it out. That would have been terrible. CV axles. You know, got the brakes hanging up out of the way. Make sure there's no pressure on the lines. Now here's to the destruction of the clutch, fellas. Oh, while we're at it. First off, let's go to the truck real quick. Stay with me, fellas. Here's the flywheel destruction. Pieces just broke off. Here's where the bolts go to the clutch. They bolt into the flywheel. Broke in there. And then the whole thing was spinning with all that crap broke off in there. So you gotta get a new flywheel, man. That thing's a beast. Shit weighs like 30 pounds, 20 something pounds. But it's not, I don't know what to call it. Here's the flywheel pressed on, and this is the main pressure plate. Some people call it a flywheel cover. I don't know what they're calling it. It's the pressure plate. That's got to be changed out. I'm going to bring that to the Ford dealership whenever I go get the new part. Make sure I get the right one. Here's how we got the car jacked up. Jack it up pretty high. These are the tall Harbor Freight jack stands. Going on either side. It's nice and secured. Now here's the main damage besides the flywheel. Look at this pressure plate, fellas. Completely broken. Completely destroyed. I don't know, man. I think that mechanic before me that just did this job, he did it, and 500 miles later, it all shattered apart, but it wasn't working correctly to begin with. I don't think he used a clutch alignment tool. I think somehow he just separated the engine and left the transmission, everything up in there, and separated it, and then stuck the clutch and stuff up in there and didn't use an alignment tool. And it spun, and it started hitting the bell housing. Because look at the bell housing. Look at the damage. Rubbing all in it. Broke this reinforcement. See this? Let's zoom in on this. I cleaned it out already, so. Also, does this bearing, does this get greased from the transmission fluid? I don't think so. So I'm not sure. So I'm gonna grease it, I believe. I'm gonna get some grease up in there. Slave cylinder, here's your slave cylinder with the throwout bearing. Yeah, that's the job right there, fellas. There's subframe laying down there. Oh yeah, to get the flywheel bolts off, you need this little set. Luckily Harbor Freight sold it. Home Depot doesn't have these E-sockets, right? E-torques, inverter torques, female torques, whatever you want to call it. The flywheel bolts that were on it are an E14 Torx bolt. Here they are right here. And these are on way too tight. These are on so tight that it broke my extension to a 3/8. Snapped it right off. So this 84 tooth gear wrench is a beast. You're gonna need one of these bad boys. Came in really handy. But yeah, I'm gonna go order the parts tomorrow. Should have them in here by Wednesday, and hopefully I'll have everything done by Thursday night. Maybe Wednesday night, Thursday morning. Shouldn't be too bad putting it all back together. I did it all myself. Oh, to get the transmission out, once I got it unhooked, I just let it fall onto this bed. This old mattress caught it nicely. Because this thing's heavy as fuck. And I couldn't, the transmission jack was not helping me at all. I don't know what it was getting caught up on. And I don't know why, if you look at the damage, where it was spinning, why is it touching on every single, was this, how did this happen? Am I supposed to have a shim? Is there supposed to be a shim on here? There wasn't, is everything right? All that was on here was, you put, there's the hole, you put this motherfucker on here, like that. So I think that's right, unless there's, yeah, I don't know, maybe it was just the material. Alright, all this stuff that was broke off, all this metal was laying right here on the bottom of the bell housing. Maybe it was just spinning and ripping shit up, I don't know. Terrible. Look at that braking. Oh man. I don't think we can reuse that. I'm not sure. No. Here's the clutch. So now I done got all dirty. For no reason, just to make y'all a video. But yeah, you got to drop subframe on a 2011 Focus if you want to get this shit out. Also, you're gonna need to make a custom bracket to hold the dowel pin on the flywheel. Run a bolt through it. Alright, to hold the flywheel in place while you take them bolts off, because they're torqued so damn hard, dude, you won't be able to get them out. Anyways, let me know if you see anything crazy. Appreciate y'all viewing my film. Later.